Talk a little bit about the opportunity in front of you. Being a player here at Bishop Luers, this kind of had to be your dream job down the road. So talk about what it's like to have that realized at this point.
First of all, I'm very humbled and privileged to be given this opportunity. As you said, it kind of is a dream job. It's not something as a kid I always thought so. Quite frankly, when I walked out of the hallways my senior year, I thought this would be the last time I'll be in a high school building. But as I got into my education at the University of Dayton and came to realize that I had a true passion for coaching and working with kids, it's exciting as much as anything because, as you said, I grew up here. I've been around the hallways, been out there on the practice field since I was 3-4 years old. So now here I am given an opportunity to coach a great program. A storied program, and work with such great administrators, faculty, a great group of kids, and really a tremendous community that's very supportive.
Now, you've been an offensive coordinator here for a number of years, so what do you take from that experience, and what are you trying to do to kind of put your stamp on this football program?
I'm not too interested or too concerned with my stamp. I think offensively, if you've watched us over the last 4 years since I've been a head coach, we have been a pretty balanced team, a team that can pass the ball when needed, a team that can run the ball when needed. So we're going to try to maintain that, and really, I'm really thrilled with the decision by the administration to keep this on staff, keep our staff together. I think that was very important. Not just for their perspectives, but from the kids. So they have that continuity in the program. They know what to expect in this off season, coming up this summer, because there can be a lot of wrinkles added when you throw a new coach in there and brand new staff. So I think the continuity is very important to the program.
When you take a look at your playing days, you graduated as the SAC's all-time leading passer, and James obviously surpassed you, who was your protege to a degree. So what do you think, having played here and having been an assistant here, what do you think you bring to the program that maybe somebody from the outside wouldn't?
I think the familiarity, not with the building, with the facilities, but with the community. As I said a little bit ago, it's a very supportive community, and I've found that out. Not that I haven't known that, but I found that out firsthand the last several months, how supportive, not just people inside this building, which has really been overwhelming, the amount of support thrown my way, but from outside the community, the support that they show. And that's something I'm always going to keep in my heart, and that's something I'm going to work, not just on my behalf, but on behalf of the kids as a program. I think that's something that we would like to do a little bit more of, is reach out and help those out around the Luers community, because I think a lot of kids that cycle in and out of here, we've become so, in a way, so spoiled with the success. I think a lot of kids don't really realize how many people out there in the community that they have an impact on, and that's something I think we're going to work forward as we move along.
You mentioned the success. This is only the second program in the state's history that's won 4 consecutive state titles. So do you look at it as hoping to continue that legacy, or some added pressure, knowing that what's expected of this program year in and year out now?
I don't see it as added pressure. I think every year we go into a year, your number one goal is to win a state championship. At the same time, are we improving these young men? Are we helping them realize that they are role models to those grade school kids out there, elementary school kids? Do these kids realize, as I just said, are they aware of what's going on in the community around them? I think that's some of our goals that we're going to work on. But in terms of on-the-field football success, I don't see any added pressure. I mean, Bishop Luers has had a bullseye on its back since I was a ball boy in the early 90s, so I don't view it as pressure.
At any point during this past season, were you concerned that this opportunity might never surface? You might never have this opportunity?
That wasn't, that's neither here nor there. That's really not for me wasn't for me to worry about. I think from the whole beginning of the process, the administration informing us that they'd like to keep the staff together. That was important to them in this whole process. So just that was very reassuring that they saw a lot of great things in this program, and regardless of who the next coach would have been, they would have had my support. So it's not something I really couldn't concern myself with.
Kind of in that ilk, what do you think you learned from what ended up being a successful season, but also a tumultuous season? What do you think you took away? Because you start as the offensive coordinator, then you're the head coach for a game, and it was just so many different things happening, especially with you and your family and your personal life, and also here on the football field. So, what do you take away from that? How do you improve yourself going forward?
Well, perseverance more than anything. I tried to serve as an example to these kids of how to handle adversity, and quite frankly, I thought our kids did a spectacular job with that this past year, going through 3 head coaches, hearing everything out there in the news. I know it's very tough, as tough on them as it has been on anybody else in the community. So I think the persevering through tough times, life's not always going to be easy. Handling the adversity, what are we going to do? What are we going to do tomorrow to change our current situation? And I really, as a community and as a football team, it kind of bonded us together in a really weird way.
Tough on you?
Oh, without a doubt. It was tough. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. But, obviously I'm in full support of the family first. But again, I think something else I took or maybe learned more about was the support, the true support that this community offers to those going through dire situations.
Going forward, talk a little bit about, obviously Jalen graduates. He's one of the best in the country. Tyvell's going to go to Purdue. Michael's going to go to Bowling Green. You got a lot of other good seniors as well. Looking forward, X's and O's wise and personnel wise, what can we expect from this Bishop Luers team?
From an X's and O's standpoint, we're only going to do what we're capable of doing. I'm one who likes balance on offense. I know Coach Millhouse and Coach Lou on the defensive side of the ball have the same concepts. They want to run multiple schemes, want to be able to handle spread, want to be able to handle the smash mouth teams that we'll face here in town and in the tournament. So from an X's and O's standpoint, I don't see a whole lot of change. Obviously, you get to the personnel, players returning. I think we're replacing 9 or 10 starters on defense. Pretty much everybody who touched the ball other than the quarterbacks on offense, an entire offensive line. So we got a lot to work on. So again, it'll be determined. What we do on the field will be determined what these kids can handle, not just physically, but upstairs.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Appreciate it, man.